Hey, welcome to PressPassTV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Michael Artis, coming to you from the world headquarters of PressPassTV in New York City. Joining us is our own Mark Jacobson in Detroit, Michigan. Mark, tell us what we've got today. We've got a very special guest and treat for everyone.
All right, Michael, we're joined now by Mike Utley, who 16 years ago was a former Detroit Lions offensive lineman, was involved in a routine play against the St. Louis Rams at the Pontiac Silverdome. That play, though, didn't quite end the way anybody expected. It left him paralyzed for life. And Mike, first off, obviously you've been thrust back into the spotlight here over the last week thanks to the situation with Kevin Everett of the Buffalo Bills, the tight end who was involved in a similar situation on Sunday against the Patriots. Now, did you see that play, and what was going through your mind as you were watching that?
You know, when I did see it, I just right then and there, I said, oh my God, not another one. And then that was on, the night, and then the next morning, I got started getting inundated with phone calls about people coming in and coming out, what's going on, how's he feeling? And I just said, listen, we got to give him space, and then the doctors did what they were supposed to do, and it was pretty good to see the treatment he got.
Now, have you actually made contact with that family at all, with the Everetts?
No, I have not. I haven't chatted with him, but I've chatted with folks around him, but not to him or his family directly.
Now, how similar was the situation to what happened with you on that day back in 1991 at the Pontiac Silverdome?
Well, the difference, for me is when I hit, right there I became a C5, 6, 7 incomplete quad, where the lump on my neck and the two above is what I damaged. But Kevin, in his injury, was his P4. So right now he was intubated so he can breathe, help the machine breathe. I never had to go through that. So right now he does have function below his injury level. But the biggest thing is right now he's got to be careful of blood clots and pneumonia, fluids in your lungs.
Now, when the situation happened with you, and it was a routine type of blocking situation, if I recall, what was going through your mind when you were down on the field and you realized that something was different?
The biggest thing for me when I was laying there was I lost strength this time. As a ball player, you lost sensation through your arms before. You get a stinger, you get a tingling like it's falling asleep. I've lost both hamstrings before. But this time I lost strength, and it was different. But then when all of a sudden the head trainer comes out and fouled, when he came out, I said, sir, get my mouthpiece out. When a ball player gives up his mouthpiece or his helmet, he's done. And I knew I was in serious, serious trouble.
How was your attitude as you headed to the hospital and you saw everything that was developing around you?
Well, the biggest thing is it was a heck of a commotion. But I have to give Ken Fowl, the doctors, the Detroit Lions, and the medical staff, they did a great job. They protected me. That was the first thing. They allowed the opportunity for me to be here in front of you today. I've earned the right to be here, but they gave me the opportunity to be here by what they did. And when everyone was working around me, cutting my jersey off, my shoulder pads off, even very last was my helmet. But right then and there, I just knew I was in serious, serious trouble. I didn't know why I broke my neck or not, but I was hurting.
What was going through your mind at the time?
Actually, when I got carried off the field, I just knew I was breaking a promise to myself my first year in the NFL. When I shattered my right leg, I promised myself never to be carried off the field again, and I was. So I was angry more than I was wondering what was going on.
What about in the days following when you were in the hospital waking up after procedures that were done and stuff like that? What were your thoughts? What were your first thoughts?
Well, the really first memory I have is 2-3 days after the injury, after my second surgery, a doctor came in and said, son, you'll never walk again. And right then and there I knew what I had to do, and that's take care of things like I did as a ball player. Get after it one day at a time.
And picking up on that theme right there, doctors in Kevin Everett's case described his situation as bleak and dismal, and a couple days ago said he would never walk again, and he'd probably be on a ventilator for the rest of his life. Now they're saying it's nothing short of a miraculous situation. He's nodded his head, he's wiggled his toes, and he's breathing on his own.
Well, definitely. And it confirms what Mike Utley Foundation has done with putting research number one, is the techniques from the new MRIs, the decompressing surgery, the new drugs he was given, the new technique of what I basically call radiation or flushing with the coolant through a system, and that cools down the body, and it makes it right there so the swelling does less damage, and that's the most important thing. Is you get the subluxation was fixed, the damage is done, and now the swelling is going to create more damage, and they eliminated that. He's going to have a lot more surviving cells than I did. I tell you what, Mike Utley Foundation, we've worked hard on raising money for research. And it comes down, the bottom line is, I am going to give part of myself for what I believe in, and that's finding a cure for paralysis, number one. But in the meantime, we have something in ourselves that we have to decide we're going to make a difference. I will be relative 10 years from now. Mike Utley is going to make a difference not only today, 10 years, and God willing, 100 years from now for what we do today. And I'm very proud that I was able to help in some form or fashion to be able to get this young man hopefully one step further than I have gotten back then. But the fight for him and fight for myself is not over yet. That's why it's so imperative that we keep working with finding a cure for paralysis, because he will have some deficit, maybe as much as he would have. But the bottom line is I would love to put out therapists, spinal cord therapists out of business by finding a cure for paralysis. But in the meantime, I promise you, I will keep working. That's why MikeUtley.org is the best place people can really truly get in and get help and find a cure for paralysis.
Yeah, and
now, in your case, how long did it take before you finally started feeling some of that sensation back? Obviously, this is an unusual situation that Kevin Everett was able to regain some sensation in a matter of days like this, right?
Well, it took me some time, but again, it's been 15 and a half years. This November will be 16 years. Every single day, every single year, I've gotten more and more back. When I first started moving just really my fingers and things like that, that was huge. Because, you know, when you have no hands, no wrists, no fingers, that's the first thing you want back, is to be able to feed yourself and basically take care of yourself, because it's kind of hard, difficult from becoming one of the best 28 men in the world to have someone feed you all the time. It's tough.
Now, Mike, your foundation, the Mike Utley Foundation, and it's MikeUtleyFoundation.org. Is that what you said?
Yes, www.mikeutley.org.
MikeUtley.org. Mike, you guys are going to do the Dam to Dam Bike-a-thon very soon. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that and how people can become involved not only in the foundation but also in the Bike-a-thon?
September 29th, it will be the 5th annual Mike Utley Foundation Dam to Dam Thumbs Up Bike Tour. It's a 25, 50, 100-mile bike ride for able-bodied and disabled. We will have road, mountain, tandem, recumbent, hand cycles. We will have 50-plus, the largest contingency of hand cycles in the nation, coming out to Wenatchee, Washington. One, we'd love to have more hand cycles come out, love more able-bodied guys and gals to come out. But if you can't ride, for whatever reason you can't make it September 29th, you can log on to MikeUtley.org and pledge a rider. You can pledge, I will be riding 25 miles, pledge, you know, Mike's Thumbs Up attitude. But get involved. That's the biggest thing, is be able to find a way to understand is that after this injury, it can't change you unless you allow it to. We have a lot of spinal cord folks coming out to make a difference, and they're going to show people, they're going to show the nation that likes a choice, and they're pushing themselves as I have over these last 15 and a half years.
Do you think at some point you'll reach out to Everett and his family and try and get him involved in the foundation, but also just talk to him?
Oh, most definitely. My biggest thing right now, I need to have him get himself into, once he leaves the ICU unit, that's number one. The doctor's doing a great job. The number one thing for Kevin Everett right now is to get himself to a spinal cord rehab center. That's all they do is spinal cord. I went to Craig Hospital in Inglewood, Colorado. That's where the NFL put me. He needs to get to a spinal cord center, not a general rehab center, for himself and his family. Rehab and therapy only lasts so long. Life lasts forever.
All right, well, I'm sure that he's doing that, and thank you very much for your time. You've been amazing. I look forward to getting updates from you and having some more progress and finding out what's going on with your foundation and helping you to promote those events and stuff like that. I know that you're at home in Washington, in the state of Washington. Mark Jacobson from PressPassTV is in Michigan, which is pretty amazing that we're doing this all over a computer. I thank you guys both very much for your time. Don't forget to go to MikeUtley.org. Mike, it's truly amazing to get an inside look at what's going on in that situation. We wish Everett the best, Kevin Everett the best, and good luck with him, and hopefully he heals quickly and well. Thank you guys very much. For everyone here at Press Pass, I'm Michael Artsis from Press Pass TV from the world headquarters in New York City, saying so long and be terrific.